Welcome to today's Escape to the Country. This beautiful woodland and the paths and tracks that run through it were once home to and inspired the great English poet Alfred Lord Tennyson. But as to where I am, and importantly, where I'm heading, well, join me in just a few moments and I'll show you. On today's show, I'll be helping a creative couple get the wheels in motion on a new life in the countryside. And early on in our house hunt, one property makes them giddy with excitement.
That is lovely, really impressive.
Absolutely, that's different.
Yeah.
But their enthusiasm quickly turns to discontent.
To be honest with you, Jules, I'm disappointed.
Today, I'm in West Sussex, on top of Blackdown Hill, the highest point in the county, the perfect place to get an overview of this glorious landscape with its ever-changing hues and colours. No surprise, then, that it inspired Tennyson to write these words about the place in which he lived. You came and looked and saw the view, long known and loved by me. Green Sussex fading into blue with one grey glimpse of sea. A beautiful poem inspired by a beautiful county. The southeastern county of West Sussex is bordered by East Sussex, Hampshire and Surrey. The county covers some 760 square miles, half of which is dominated by the South Downs. And the grazing of sheep on this chalky soil over many centuries has resulted in a distinctive landscape which is known as Old Chalk Grassland. Located high on a hilltop on the edge of the Downs is Arundel, a medieval town that has been the seat of the Dukes of Norfolk for 7 centuries and whose fine castle looks over the River Arun. As if plucked straight out of a fairy tale, Arundel Castle towers high above the town, which attracts thousands of visitors a year. With such rich heritage and countryside on offer, it's easy to see why this is a compelling option for house hunters in search of a rural retreat. West Sussex is full of property hotspots, and in many respects it always has been. For decades it's been popular with commuters from London thanks to its excellent road and in particular rail links to the capital. But of course all that does come at a premium. To put it in context, when you consider that the average house price in the UK is around about £258,000, here you could comfortably add another 100 grand onto that figure. But I suppose the burning question is it worth it? Well, as you can see from the rich array of architectural styles on offer, for many people, it undoubtedly is. One of the key building blocks of villages and towns throughout West Sussex is flint. It's been used for centuries by local craftsmen to create an array of characterful homes. Since the Norman period, sandstone has been used to build a wealth of Sussex properties, from cottages and barns to impressive manor houses. This attractive stone has been in use since around 1320, and its fine texture initially radiates a subtle honey colour that over the years weathers to a range of autumnal shades. And this 18th century 3-bedroom cottage could be yours for £550,000. The 16th century brought the use of timber to prominence with the construction of oak frames, providing a distinctive local look. However, properties in this highly sought-after style often come at a premium. This 5-bedroom detached house is on the market for £935,000. Well, if that little selection has whetted your appetite and inspired you to make a move to West Sussex, you're in very good company, because this is exactly where today's buyers want to call home. Jeff and Fran live in Sutton in southwest London and have been married for 38 years. They met at university, and it was Jeff's not-so-subtle choice in clothing that first attracted his future wife.
It was a graduation show.
Yes, had that really bright green stripy jacket, which was particularly fine.
Green and yellow.
Yes.
Jeff is hooked on pottery and studied ceramics at college. He's since gone on to inspire others to get creative.
I've had my hand in clay since I was 14. I was very fortunate in going to a school where there were a couple of extremely good teachers who could make pots. And they fired me with enthusiasm, and I hope I've done that for other people too.
You've been firing ever since.
Yeah, that's absolutely right.
Fran has just had a hip replacement, but continues to work in a high-pressure job as a PA for an investment company. She's planning on retiring soon and can't wait to escape the noise of the city.
What's really appealing to me about the countryside is not being surrounded by concrete and a lot of green, and I love trees. One thing I have noticed and absolutely love not hearing is police sirens and the constant drone of traffic.
Our buyers now want to combine their talents to start up their own pottery and B&B business.
Our idea is to have couples or individuals coming down and spending time with us, maybe a weekend, maybe a week, or maybe just using the studio on a daily basis or by the hour even.
They're hoping to find their country retreat around the Hampshire-West Sussex border, but the actual location of the property is not top of their priority list.
The place we want to move to, in terms of the type of building and buildings, is probably more important than the immediate area. So we're reasonably open within those confines. We need to be not too far away from London, because if we're going to have clients coming down, then they need to be able to get to us reasonably quickly and the journey won't put them off.
And when they're not entertaining pottery-loving guests, they have plenty of other passions they want to pursue.
What I like about fly fishing is that it's active. You're moving around, you're thinking all the time, you're changing tactics. Although I've not done any, and I have to admit this, for probably 16 years, but I'm really keen to get back into it. I miss it.
While Jeff's eyes will be firmly glued on the water, Fran has set her sights on relaxing in all manner of ways.
Perhaps take a life drawing class, devote more time to doing some gardening.
Our buyers have already accepted an offer on their house, so all their finances are in place to get the wheels turning on their new venture.
Our budget for this move is around £640,000.
Jeff and Fran want to move to the villages around Chichester, which has good transport links for any potential guests for their pottery and B&B business. I caught up with our creative couple in the beautiful West Sussex countryside to find out the finer details of their move. Well, Fran and Jeff, welcome to Sussex. Now, give us an idea of the sort of property you're after and what you want to do with it, because there is a twist to this story, isn't there?
Well, we've got to embark on something we hope will be a success, but if it isn't, it's still going to be a way of life for us, which is for Jeff to open a pottery school and me to do sort of B&B and evening meal.
So how big does this studio have to be?
It's got to accommodate half a dozen potter's wheels, the rest of the equipment. The kilns will be in a different building. So I guess you're looking at something at least about 30 feet by 20 feet. Must be.
And you say 6 wheels. I mean, how many people are you hoping are going to come and stay?
Half a dozen.
Half a dozen. So in terms of bedrooms, have you really thought...
We've got to have 4 beds, haven't we?
Which leaves us with the question of budget. Where are we now with our final figure?
I guess 640,000. We might push it a bit if we really find the right place.
Well, we are blessed with some sunshine today.
Wonderful.
We've got 3 properties for you to look at. Shall we
Can't
go?
wait to see it.
Go on then, follow me. Jeff and Fran have a maximum budget of £640,000 and are seeking a property with character and period features. A sizable kitchen, at least 4 bedrooms so there's enough accommodation to offer B&B, and a room large enough to be a pottery studio or outbuildings that could be converted. We've found 3 intriguing properties which we think will really appeal to our buyers, and at each one I'll be asking them to guess the price before I reveal it. As ever, our final offering is the Mystery House, which could really add some shine to their ceramic endeavours. For our first house, we're travelling 3 miles south of Chichester to Siddlesham in the Manhood Peninsula. Siddlesham is a small, picturesque village full of chocolate box-style country homes. The main focal point is the local pub, where the community can get together whilst enjoying local seafood freshly caught from just down the road in the seaside town of Selsey. But will Property 1, dating back to the 1800s, be Jeff and Fran's catch of the day? So there you go.
Oh, wow.
That's number 1.
That's rather nice.
That is so pretty.
It's a nice classic Sussex picture in a sense.
It's quite charming.
Yeah. Let's see if you can fit in it.
Yeah, OK.
Follow me.
OK.
Go for it.
This picture-perfect cottage has certainly captivated our buyers. Let's hope they're equally as happy when they see the inside. Well, let's start in here. Come on in, Fred. Dining room is our first stop.
Right.
What do you think?
Yeah, it's okay, isn't it? It's perhaps smaller than
It
I would
is. I'm
like.
just trying to take it all in with
It's
very
fit our furniture in
accesses to
there, yeah.
it and the staircase. Yes. Yeah.
What's nice are all the
It is
beams.
sweet.
I do
Yeah,
like the beams, and I
that,
like
yeah.
the fact they've not been adulterated.
Yes.
No, a good word. The house, in a way, I suppose, flows quite nicely. It all sort of drifts through into here, which is the main living area.
Oh, it's much bigger than I expected to find. It's really nice space.
It's a nice room, yeah.
Deceptive, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It is.
And our thing goes on a bit. There's this
Right.
sort of L-shaped arrangement in here, which they've got as a bit of a study at the moment, and that leads on into a downstairs cloakroom.
Well, that's a really
Oh,
nice
right.
space too.
Well, let's have a look at the kitchen, because that's going to play
Yes.
a key role in how this is all going to work. OK, Fran, come on in.
This is a really nice space, much bigger than I anticipated.
Mm-hmm.
It looks to me like there's been an extension put on here to put in.
Yeah, it's got this
obviously-
another kind of L-shaped arrangement with a diner, as it were.
Oh, that is nice.
It means you can have breakfast separate to your
Yeah.
guests.
Ideal.
The only thing we haven't got for you is a kind of more dedicated, large utility room, which I know is something that you were keen on having. But you have got that space through that door over there. Let's have a look upstairs.
Okay.
Well, their enthusiasm about this house seems to have dipped from the high praise outside. Time then to see if we can stem the tide as we check out the master bedroom. So this, I'm thinking, would be your bit of what's on offer.
That is a good size room. We could.
Big enough?
Yeah, absolutely big enough.
Built-in wardrobes?
And I
Cosy
mean,
enough?
It is, but without being cramped. And I think it's helped by having, again, the dual aspect windows, which is really nice.
It's doable.
Not en suite, but you have got the two separate bathrooms,
Yes.
unusually out there.
Yeah, I'm not worried about an ensuite.
No.
Hurrah!
No.
But it does mean that, rather fortuitously, that you can have a bathroom to
Yes.
yourselves and your guests can have
Yeah, that's good.
Yes.
have their own as well.
Yeah.
That is good.
No, that's very good. That's quite a surprise, actually.
Yeah.
OK, so that's the house. I'm not going to ask you what you think of it just yet, because we need to finish
Right.
off outside,
Yes.
because this is never going anywhere unless we can find space for at least one potter's wheel and a kiln. Let's go outside. Also on this floor is another double bedroom alongside a single. On the next level, the loft has been tastefully converted and now provides another 2 large bedrooms. But out in the back garden, I've got a surprise in store. OK. Out you come.
Thank you.
We've also got you a pool.
Oh, wow.
That's amazing.
Now, some people do have a pool on their list of requirements. This
Right.
was a bonus in terms of entertaining your guests.
Be super. Yeah?
Marvellous, yeah.
Be quite nice, wouldn't
Yeah.
it?
Yes, absolutely.
But let's not get distracted by that too much, because that's what I want you to really feast your eyes on.
Oh, right, yeah, that's quite nice.
That's a big space.
Do you have a closer look?
Yeah, let's do that.
Now then, is that going to be big enough?
Oh, possibly.
Now, the point I probably should make is that this building has in the past had planning on it
Oh, really?
for conversion as an annex and so
For
forth.
living accommodation?
yes.
Yeah, now that's lapsed, OK, but the fact that it's been granted in the past, I suspect,
Yeah.
it wouldn't be difficult to.
It's a precedent.
So let's draw this to a close with a discussion about the value of property number 1. What do you think property number 1 will cost you?
Well, I think it's under our maximum.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think about 580.
580, Fran?
Well, I was actually going to go slightly less, which might be me being optimistic.
You're allowed to be.
I would go 550 on a good day.
You're both wrong, but you're both right, because it is under budget. This would cost you £599,950.
OK.
But there's a lot to consider with this one. It's given us a nice idea of where we're pitching.
Sure.
Worth seeing?
Oh, too
Absolutely right, yeah.
Too right.
Right. Well, look, go and have a poke around in there, you two, in the barn, and tell us what you will do with that, and I'll catch up with you a little bit later.
Lovely, thank
Off you
you.
go. On the market for just under £600,000, this property comes in well under their budget, leaving them plenty of spare cash for the barn conversion. This is a charming period home that still retains many characterful features, such as the wood burner in the main living room. There are 5 bedrooms, which gives them plenty of space for guests. Outside, there's a heated swimming pool, and topping it off, there's a detached barn that's just big enough to be converted into a pottery studio or holiday lets.
Well, it's a large space.
Yep.
But a lot of possibilities, actually.
Well, I mean, it's big enough,
Yeah.
that's a fact. On arrival, I thought this was a very pleasant place, certainly from the external aspects. Coming in, the size of the rooms is perhaps a little small.
Outside space, fabulous. I mean, absolute loads of potential. So, brilliant start for number 1.
A good start.
Yes,
Yeah, absolutely.
indeed.
Right, come on. In the rolling hills of the South Downs National Park is the town of Petworth. Since the mid-1970s, Petworth has become a thriving hub for antique shops, with over 30 spread across the town, and in recent years, it's even been voted the best antiques town in the UK in the British Antique Collectors Awards. As Jeff and Fran share a passion for collectibles, earlier in the week, we took them to meet Janice Enticknap, who runs the antiques market and has a very personal connection to the story of how Petworth created such a name for itself in the world of antiques.
Well, in the 1960s, there were several antique shops here, as there were in most towns. And my mother decided to go into antiques, and she approached a lady in an antique shop in Angel Street and asked her if she could take a small space. The lady said yes, and my mother saw potential for an antique centre, which was quite novel in those days. So she expanded the upstairs attic, took on stall holders, and as the business grew, they decided to buy these premises. My mother was in the business right until she died last year, 82. She was still pricing up stock the day before she died.
Oh, I never.
Yes.
That's super.
Yes.
Having revealed the history of the market, Janice was now keen to test Jeff's own unique knowledge of a very useful antique.
I've got a corkscrew here that I need to put in the cabinet. It was one of my mother's. I don't know much about corkscrews.
Have a look, please. Thank you. Yeah. This is what we call a Henschel button, which was designed and patented by Samuel Henschel at the end of the 18th century.
Oh, right.
It's Victorian. It's what we call a baluster stem on there.
Right.
It's got a nice ciphered worm. Can you see that?
Yes, that is nice.
I've also got a little bit of porcelain that hasn't been put out yet. Just little spriggy cups and saucers. About 1780. Pretty sprig pattern.
That's delightful.
No, it is pretty.
Very pretty colours there, I think.
Alongside this more affordable market, the town also has a thriving trade in much rarer collectibles. 12 dealers are housed in the Tudor Rose building, and our buyers are off to discover more about the antiques held inside from the owner Elizabeth Lee.
This is probably the oldest building in Petworth. It dates from about 1600. It was an old ale house originally.
How do you go about selecting stuff?
The things I select, I've got to like, because if I don't like them, I just can't get very fired up about trying to sell them. There's no real overall style. It's a real mixture and probably allows people to express themselves far better. Now, if we come down to the front of the shop, I've got a particularly interesting piece called a porter's chair that I think
lovely.
you might be
Let's go and have a look,
love to
yes.
see. So here is the porter's chair.
Yes, look at that, it's
which is,
splendid.
yes, there aren't too many of these around now. This example is early 20th century. They were for porters. So whether you're talking about a London club or a hotel or a smart house, perhaps you'd like to sit in it, try it for size. Yes, that's...
That's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Well, it's time to get Jeff and Fran out of the hot seat, as it were, and back to the rather important job of finding them a hot property. Now, we don't have to travel far to get to house number 2, as it's also located in Siddlesham, exactly the same as property 1. As we already know a little about the village, I thought I'd take our buyers on a quick detour to the seaside, just a mile down the road. Selsey lies just south of Chichester and is a busy and picturesque coastal town extending 6 miles out into the English Channel. Dominated by the sea, this place is well known for its fresh fish and local crab, as we're about to find out.
Right then, who's for
a seafood snack.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
too right.
Yeah.
Hi there, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. What can I get you?
Well, it looks like you've got a bit of everything here.
We've got dressed crabs, we've got lobsters here.
Yeah. Should we try a dressed crab?
Yeah, why not?
Because I've never eaten crab before. Can you believe it?
Really?
Yeah.
Let's have a bit of crab then. Finish the job off.
I bet that's good.
Now, these two are trying to buy a house down here. Would you recommend life in this part of Sussex?
It's lovely. Because you've got the sea close by you and then you've got Chichester, which is really, really beautiful. I love Chichester.
Well, there you are.
Well, that's a...
You've heard it from...
That's an
Chichester's
endorsement.
lovely.
You've heard
isn't
it from the primary source for the area. There we are. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Brilliant.
Cheers.
Much obliged. Right.
We're house hunting. As if you didn't know. Come on.
Thanks very much indeed.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Time to go and see that second house in Siddlesham. There you go.
That is lovely, really impressive.
Absolutely, that's different.
It is different. It's a lot bigger than property number 1.
Yes.
And the other thing to point out while we're here are, of course, these two outbuildings, which, to be fair, Jeff, they do need a bit of attention.
Look at the size of them, though.
Just a bit.
They are massive.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll do, absolutely they will.
Now, the whole lot sits in about 1.2 acres.
Oh, that's good.
Because there's
That
a
is
bit more
fantastic.
that way.
Really, yeah.
Too. The only thing that I think draws from it
It's the road.
is the road
Yes.
noise.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But saying that, it does mean you're accessible.
Well, I'm really interested.
Yeah.
It looks.
Look, I can't
looks a
wait to
business.
get in there
Yeah.
now.
Come on in, follow me.
Let's go.
Well, despite the road, Jeff and Fran are still really positive. We're going to start by moving through the hallway right into the heart of this home.
Right, come through here, the hallway, downstairs shower room and cloakroom and what have you. And then this is the kitchen. What do you make of this, Fran?
To be honest with you, Jules, I'm disappointed because I can see beyond the decor. It's just a space, the kind of narrow galley type shape of it.
I don't think.
I just don't think it will work.
It's quite small.
Bear with me, because I think the rest of this property, you know, it's one of these ones that does get better
Grows on you.
the further you go through it. Come and have a look in here, then. Now, this is where I think this house really starts to make sense.
Oh, that's a lovely size for
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Really
It's a good
nice.
size.
Yeah. And
Yeah, I like
light,
this.
really light.
Very pleasant
Good, really
room,
good
actually.
proportions.
Yeah. Do you see what I mean?
Yes.
It does evolve in a very positive kind of way.
I'm feeling better already.
Yeah, you should do, because I think there's a lot going for this place. This is the dining area that they've currently got set up, which, again, really complements
That's
this.
lovely.
whole
yeah,
lot.
It's a nice
yeah, it
room.
really is. Very light.
Yeah, beautifully light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. And
Yeah.
the lovely view of the garden all round.
Yes. So, thinking back now to the kitchen, which, let's face it, was on a bit of a downer. Would you be prepared or interested to reconfigure that end of the house to make it match what we've got here?
I think it would be imperative.
Yeah, it would be. Provided
Yeah.
it's within our budget.
Absolutely. That's my concern.
Good. Well, there is method in the madness. Let's continue upstairs. Let's go through this door. Why not?
So after a rocky start in the kitchen, we seem to be finishing the downstairs of this tour on the up. On this floor, there is also one of the 4 bedrooms, while the other 3 are upstairs. But let's take a look at the room best suited to them.
This I love. I think this is where it works for you up here, because we've got your own sort of master wing, as it were. Little study in there.
Right.
Ensuite in
All
here.
right.
Okay.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yep.
And here, your master bedroom.
That's nice and bright, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
It is a very good size.
But the reason I love this layout is because it does give you your own space here.
Too right.
You've got the other bathroom at the end over there, so your other 2 guest rooms have got the use of that.
Very good idea.
We've got the other bedroom downstairs and the
that
shower
shower
room.
room, yeah.
So you've got 3 very viable letting doubles.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you've got all this.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's certainly true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see the potential in it. Brilliant.
You've also got the added bonus of this balcony. Oh, come out here.
Oh, wow.
Have a look at this. There. How about this?
Oh,
Nice
that's
bit of
great.
afternoon sun.
Oh, brilliant.
And quite a nice view, actually, of what's on offer, kind of plot-wise.
Indeed.
Yeah, lovely.
Yeah, wouldn't it?
Fantastic.
So, you know what's coming now, don't you?
I'm afraid so. Yeah.
Say that.
It's the money bit. Go on, Fran, you go first this time. Make us an offer on property number 2.
I would say about 6'2".
£620,000 says your wife, sir. Yeah?
I'd have thought it was 640, 645, somewhere like that.
Yeah. It's open to offers between £600,000 and £650,000.
Right.
That's the kind of guide bracket that goes with it. So, worth thinking about.
Absolutely.
Yeah? Right then,
Yeah.
I'm going to leave you up here on your own to ponder all that you survey. And I will catch up with you later. Enjoy the sun trap.
Thank you.
Right.
On the market for offers between £600,000 to £650,000, we got off to a slow start, but I think Jeff and Fran can see the potential. It has a large sitting room with a wood burner, a lovely and light dining room with fabulous views of the garden, 4 bedrooms including one with an ensuite and a magnificent roof terrace, and 2 large outbuildings ready to be given a new lease of life, possibly as Jeff's studio or as a holiday let.
I particularly like the land, I particularly like the size of the workshops, and the potential upstairs for taking guests so that they can be separate is extremely good.
I was very disappointed with the kitchen, but after looking around the whole thing, I could see a potential for us to be able to do what we would like to with that area. Absolutely worked in terms of guests and having a separate bedroom and dressing area for us, potentially.
So that's it then. Property number 2, done and dusted. One more to come tomorrow. Mystery house time.
Yeah, you're doing very well so far.
Fingers crossed, eh?
Absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah.
Come on then.
As the sun sets over the South Downs, it marks the end of our first day of house hunting. Pottery-loving Jeff and his wife Fran want to remould their life with a move from Sutton in southwest London to West Sussex. So far, they thought our first property was charming, but the kitchen in the second house failed to live up to their expectations. However, coming up, will the mystery property fire up our buyers or leave them glazed and confused? And I get to grips with a piece of Sussex motoring heritage.
These bus drivers, well, and you, must have arms like Popeye. Well, it is the start of our final day of house hunting, which means we only have a few hours left to try and find Fran and Jeff their home of the future. Now, to be fair, it has been a bit of a challenge so far. I suspect that challenge is set to continue, but of course it's never over until it's over. One more property to come. It's mystery house time.
But what, I wonder, do Fran and Jeff think we've got for them?
Are we all suitably excited, sitting on the edges of our seats?
Yeah, always. It's going to be very interesting.
You've always given us the land in abundance.
Yeah.
So it's just what goes on it now is of consideration, isn't it?
It's just
Yeah.
what goes on it. Well, let's see what you make of our final offering.
We're travelling around 14 miles east of Chichester to Lyminster. This small village is famous for its tale of the Knucker Hole, a bottomless watery pit inhabited by a fearsome dragon called the Knucker that was killed by a local dragon slayer. The story is one of the best known in Sussex folklore, and it's believed that the tombstone of the slayer, known as the Slayer's Slab, sits in the churchyard of St Mary Magdalene. For our mystery house, I'm taking Jeff and Fran to a detached property that will hopefully solve all their guest accommodation worries, as it's already an up-and-running B&B.
Well, there is our mystery house. 42 years old, it was built by the current owners, but this is currently an up-and-running B&B.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Yeah. So this is the real deal. And they're making quite a nice living at it.
That's really
nice.
good to know.
We've also got your double garage, which offers you lots of space, and a couple of outbuildings as well.
Right.
It's an interesting one, this.
I'm interested.
Come on then, let's have a look around.
Well, we're off to a great start, and I'm really looking forward to revealing the wonderful potential this place has.
How about this then? It's got a sort of Edwardian feel, actually.
Yeah, it has.
It's very
nice
open,
open
isn't
staircase,
it?
yeah.
Nice and bright, very wide staircase. And then in here, we've got the kitchen.
That's a really good space, lovely square area, very light. I think you could do a really good job in
We need to
in
do
here.
something here, but yeah.
It'd be really easy to do.
I think you've alighted on the main point, and that is its proportions. You're absolutely right. The other nice thing about this kitchen is that it is absolutely slap bang in the middle, So, guests, eat and relax through here. Now, I think this is a really clever solution to the business of accommodating your guests in terms of dining and living space. This is all for them.
That's really perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Fantastic.
And a door there from the kitchen, sliding door.
Oh, great.
Right.
They've also got a guest conservatory.
So I see.
That's ideal, actually.
I mean,
isn't it? Yeah. And they've got use of the pool.
Oh,
We've got another pool for you.
How
How about that?
Isn't that amazing?
We found you 2 out of 3. Yeah. Well, your living room is at the end of the corridor. It's nicely tucked away. Have a look at this. So this is you when you want to get away from it all.
All right.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's a good
That's
size.
a really good sized room. It's lovely.
Really generous, isn't it?
Yeah.
And again, lovely views out to the garden. And in a way, I suppose, when we get out there, you'll see the garden has a sort of guest side as well, if you like.
Does it?
So you've all got your own space. And that would be your little terrace out there
Okay.
That's perfect.
as well. That's why this building really works, because
very
everything's been
sensible.
really apportioned.
Very much so. Super.
Upstairs, then.
Okay.
Let's go.
The more they see of this property, the more appealing it seems to be, and I really do think it meets all their requirements. Also on this floor is a handy utility room and a cloakroom. Onwards and upwards, and we're now going to check out their room.
I'll have a look in here. This would be, I think, the master. You've got a little loo area in there, as it were.
Oh, right.
So sort of an ensuite, I suppose. And then you've got this great big balcony again out here.
Oh, wow.
That's a nice touch.
Really making the best of the garden.
All of the bedrooms are good-sized and well-appointed, and 2 of the 3 are en suite. On this floor, there's also the family bathroom. But time now for us to head outside to see what they think of the grounds.
Now, I think this would be a great sell for any would-be guests.
Amazing.
Isn't it lovely? And it's heated.
No.
Yeah. That's quite nice, actually.
No, that's not bad at all.
In fact, the owner tells me he was swimming in here this morning.
Get away.
How
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah, how about that? Come and explore the rest of it. It's gorgeous. Yeah. So, as you can see, we've got quite an interesting little package for you here.
Indeed.
The garden is gorgeous. It's in the National Garden Scheme.
It's lovely.
It is stunning. It's like little
absolutely.
rooms within it.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
You know, it's
Absolutely.
really beautiful.
What could possibly go wrong?
We can't afford it.
All right, yes. Well, let's have a think about that then, Jeff. Go on then. It's our final guess. You go
Blimey.
first.
I reckon it's
Sure.
675.
675, yeah.
I'd probably go to 7, actually.
To 700,000.
Yeah, I would have thought.
This could be yours for £595,000.
Joking.
How about that? Hey, that's the first big smile we've had when we've talked about the money.
I think you've done well.
Hurrah!
Well done.
Well, look, go and have a look at those outbuildings and the garage and so forth, and I'll meet you later by the veg patch.
Brilliant.
Yeah?
Great.
Thanks
Thank
a lot.
you so
Off you go. Brilliant. Well, finally, it looks like the Mystery House might have delivered. This has been a pretty tough search, as you can probably tell, but I'm pleased with this one. It delivers everything they're looking for, and it's under budget. Hurrah!
On the market for £595,000, this property is a welcome surprise, as it's already a successful and well-established B&B business. It has a large kitchen with breakfast room, a useful utility, an open-plan dining and garden room, 4 double bedrooms, including 2 which are en suite, and there's even a heated swimming pool plus 2 outbuildings that could be converted into a studio for Jeff.
Well, the Mystery House really blew me away. I wasn't thinking we'd be looking at anything of this size or a business. The plot of land is already beautiful. The running business is something I'd never considered, but in fact might well work for us. The big question is, can we put a pottery in the back garden? And if we could do that, it would be really excellent.
I think it's viable, and I'm feeling quite positive, to be honest with you. And then, of course, there's the pool. That's an advantage, and then the lovely garden.
So that's it. House tours are over. That was our Mystery House. time to go and weigh it all up for you two.
We've given us a huge amount to think about in a really good way, but
I'm feeling very positive.
I am too, yeah.
Keep that thought, Jeff. Follow me. Not far from Arundel Castle, at the heart of our house search area, is the Amberley Museum and Heritage Centre. Set in the South Downs National Park, this 36-acre site is dedicated to celebrating the industrial heritage of the South East, with a special interest in transport. I'm going to take a nostalgic look at how people used to travel around this county with long-serving volunteer Bill Thornycroft. Bill!
Hello.
Hey, sir, I'm Jules. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
This is your pride and joy, surely?
Yes, it is.
And what are we looking at?
Well, it's a pre-First World War bus. The body is over 100 years old. The engine is 1914.
So this was created at the outbreak of the First World War, and it's still running?
Yes.
And you've nursed it along ever since?
Well, we had to rebuild it. It was in a scrapyard.
But you've done it absolutely beautifully, I have to say.
This is almost indestructible, and any idiot can drive it.
Probably even me if I try my hand at
No
it.
gears.
No gears at all. But when you look at the anatomy of this vehicle, it does hark back to a bygone era of horse-drawn transport.
Yes, the construction of the body is exactly the same as a horse bus, but bigger. It's made of timber frame bolted together with great big iron brackets.
But it's got that stagecoach feel. Well, that's why we call it coachwork, don't we?
Right.
Even now.
And that's one piece of mahogany, the whole length of the bus.
But absolutely nothing comfortable about it. There's no give in these tyres, is
No,
there?
solid rubber, but you don't get punctures.
I absolutely love it. Can we get up
Certainly,
top?
yes.
Yeah. Wonderful. I can't think of a better way to see the Sussex countryside than from up here.
It's a lovely way to see the countryside, yes.
Wonderful. Nothing very salubrious about the seating, but very practical, I guess, because it's going to rain.
When it's wet, you'll sit down, you hold these over your knees to keep your knees dry. And so they're called knee aprons.
Knee aprons?
Yes.
Absolutely lovely.
And this is the oldest bus that is still giving regular rides to the public.
In Britain?
I think it'll probably anywhere, I don't know.
Possibly the world.
Yeah. The introduction of motor buses in about 1904 really revolutionised life, particularly with the country. Almost every village was in walking distance of bus service. For the first time, ordinary people could afford to go to the town, to shop, to go to the theatre.
But I suppose it also worked the other way. It gave people in towns and cities the chance to, well, escape to the country for the first time and explore this glorious landscape.
Yes.
Now, you said earlier when we first met that almost any idiot could drive one.
Yes.
What are my chances?
Well, of course you can drive. I trust you.
Let's have a go.
Yes.
OK. Thank you,
Get in
sir.
the hot seat. So these things, we've got no gearbox, no clutch.
So how do we actually go about firing it up?
Well, we've cheated on this because we're getting old and feeble. We can't crank it anymore. It was obviously, in those days, you cranked it with the handle at the front. So we've fitted an electric starter. So
I think we can forgive you that.
We've cheated.
Right
So
then.
if you'd like to press the starter button.
OK. 1, 2, 3.
Right.
There we are. OK.
Shut the lid, yeah.
It's come to life. Wonderful.
Push that forward, take the handbrake off, like that.
Yep.
Tickle the accelerator a bit.
Oh,
And
it's
off,
going.
And off we go.
We're
Push
actually
a bit
moving.
more, bit more.
Bit more. Fabulous. Gosh, I'll tell you what, you can see why they invented power steering. These bus drivers, well, and you, must have arms like Popeye.
Well, this one's quite light compared with some of them.
This is lovely. It's alive, it's living. I might just beep the horn, how about that? Oh, right. You've really got to think ahead on your turns, haven't you? Well, Bill, thank you very much indeed. I feel very privileged to have had a go. Not just in a world gone by, but your world. Right then, I think there's time for one more hoot of the horn before we get back to the rest of the show. Ready?
Right.
Well, it's nearly the end of the day and nearly the end of the show. Perfect timing, if you ask me, as you can see, it is now pouring with rain. There is, of course, just one more thing to do, and that's to find out if Fran and Jeff have reached a decision as to where their future home is going to be. So, Fran and Jeff, here we are at the end of our little voyage of discovery. Has it helped to firm up your idea of the sorts of property or sort of property that would really make this move work?
One side of the coin, yes, it has, and on the other side, no, it hasn't. It's opened a lot of other doors and a lot of other thoughts.
OK. Well, let's just remind ourselves of the trip we took to open some of those doors. It started with property number 1. Lovely image of a classic Sussex facade, really, with the pool and that quite useful outbuilding as well. You seemed to respond quite well to that at the beginning.
I did. I thought it was a really charming view coming around the corner.
Yeah.
The outside space certainly worked really well.
OK. Jeff?
It got a lot of positives about it, but there were also quite a few negatives, things that wouldn't work for us, like going straight into that dining area from the front door and then into the sitting room. I'd have felt, and do feel, that's a bit awkward.
I mean, as we said at the time, the trick was trying to fit a business, or two businesses really, the pottery and the B&B,
That's right.
into a family home, which is what the budget was really going to get us
Absolutely.
towards.
You were close.
But I think we got a bit closer
You certainly
with
did.
property number 2, which had a lot more space and would allow you all kinds of options in terms of how you organise yourselves and your guests in the property. I know there were some issues over the kitchen, Fran.
Well, yes, because you did take me there first, and it kind of made me feel that was just never going to work. But once we carried on exploring, I could see the possibilities that it could work there really well.
Yeah, I quite like that house.
Yeah.
I guess the only big drawback was the road.
The road, I'm
Yeah,
afraid,
the road.
it really...
Unfortunately, yeah.
Everything else was very good.
OK. Well, then, today, Mystery House time. An up and running, fully functioning B&B. What did you make of it now?
Well, I think it was brilliant, actually.
It was
I
stunning.
liked it a lot. Yeah. Certainly has... Well, I'm feeling good about it, actually.
We were both very impressed with that. I never would have expected to see such a beautifully proportioned, albeit fairly modern. The garden absolutely heavenly, and a field beyond. I mean, really beautiful.
OK. What happens now, then?
We need to make some careful considerations, but I certainly think it's a runner. I want to go back and talk to the owners.
OK.
Find some things out.
Well, I would love to wish you all the very best of luck. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Thank
It's been our pleasure.
As we all know, buying a house is never easy. Buying one in an area that you're not that familiar with and trying to develop a business that you've never run before, well, that really is a challenge that's been matched by our house search this week. But I have no doubt that, having gotten to know Jeff and Fran the way I have, they will eventually make a go of it. The next time I fancy a little break, getting away from it all, and the chance to learn how to be a potter, well, I know where I'll be coming. I'll see you next time.
If you'd like to escape to the country in Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland or England and would like our help, then please apply online at bbc.co.uk/Be On A Show.